Such a perfect thing to start off with.
There we go.
Did you click the live button when I was doing that?
Yes, I did. All right, hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know if you can or not. My
the Prowler.
Up on I just saw it pop up.
So yeah,
the Prowler.
So if you're watching this on YouTube and you realize this is part 2 and it's weird and it's not quite the same as the first part, it's because of lots of things fucking up and I had to kind of work it on the fly. But I blame Jake because he said his favorite ship was the Prowler and
it's ghost, whenever I get excited.
The ghost of Cubone's mother came and decided to screw everything up.
Poor King.
I'm helping. I'm doing the name tag.
Wait.
I'm going to do this on the fly. Hold on. We're doing it live. There we go.
I only have a plate.
A plate?
Hey, guys. I need to walk away for just a minute. Sorry.
Go for it. Yeah, I can't. I'll figure this out.
Nor do I have a writing utensil.
I have no idea.
Hey, Flint, can I borrow that pen?
Sure.
It evaporated.
Now, if you actually had a pen in your hand, then that would have been ideal.
Right,
that would have been amazing.
I know. You should have had a pen there.
We're going to go straight into the QA, guys, from this. So if you guys have any questions, please hit exclamation point questions in chat.
See. Oh, I found it.
I'm now just my name.
Yes, I do have some folks swapped around. It just more because I kind of threw this together. I've been using OBS to do Captain's Table, and I've been trying to switch over to XSplit. So this was sort of set up, not completely set up, because I didn't have enough time. But
my camera's reversed.
Alrighty, so going to the questions again. Exclamation point questions. We'll bring those up for you guys to ask, and you can ask us any questions you'd like. We'll do our best to answer them, and if we are not at all official CIG employees, but we will answer questions like we're CIG employees and give you official answers that are completely confirmed and 100% true. And then you can take that to the forums and make sure to tag Disco Lando and Captain Xylo. Please do. I will. My campaign of terror will continue until Xylo or Lando show up on the show. That's
I don't even have to tell them to do that. They do it with our stuff literally all the time.
All the time. So. Jake Acapella of INN, official CIG.
Official CIG paid shill.
Yes.
Yes. I have no idea where that comment came from. No, not at all.
No idea. I have my pinned tweet on my Twitter is me shilling for a brand of Canadian whiskey,
which is ridiculously awesome, by the way. I love that whiskey.
Right here.
Alrighty, so
it's backwards.
We have a lot of questions here, so we'll try to get through this and honor the time of everybody here. From Human Evil 51, have you guys seen the Netflix TV show Stranger Things? If not, then why not?
Not yet.
It's awesome. I watched
it. Yet.
I started watching the first one before I went to bed, but I passed the F out last night.
I'm currently watching Mr. Robot. Please, everyone, go watch that show. My God,
you'll have to watch
it. Imagine if Watch Dogs were good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
That's Mr. Robot.
How far are you through?
I'm on episode 5, season 1.
Okay, prepare your butt. It's gonna get crazy.
Oh, how many seasons does it have?
Season 2 just started.
Okay.
Yeah, and both are on Prime actually. So you can watch the first series for free on Amazon Prime, and you got the second season you can buy right now for $20.
It's not bad. So next question from Human Evil: do you think the Terrapin will have enough cargo space for 4 extra bags? For the 4 extra bags, the Prospector won't be able to carry when it's full. What?
Maybe.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm confused too. Maybe.
You know what? The Terrapin's a armored Cargo ship, mining ship.
It's kind of like a jack of all trades ship.
Yeah, bags for the. I don't get that 4 extra bags.
Yeah, it's oddly specific. Next question is from Human Evil. Being mining and salvaging ships won't be out this year. Do you think the hand tools we talked about in ATV by Tony Z will be out this year? And if so, what patch?
Which what now?
So on ATV, Tony Z talked about having hand tools for mining and salvaging rather than having to work with ships. So that means that anyone can salvage and mine with any ship, but you can
2.7.
Whichever patch brings the Caterpillar flyable, because I think that's when we will see first iteration cargo.
I think it'll be when we have procedural planets because we need something to do on those procedural planets.
2.12.
2.12.
Well, when he talked about it, he didn't just talk about the ships being out next year. He talked about the systems coming out afterwards. So it was cargo, mercenary, smuggling, piracy, all in that first grouping to be pushed out. And then he's like, the ships, but also the systems that go with the ships next year is kind of how it got phrased together. And then he talked a bit about the hand tools maybe being in there beforehand, but it was like muddled.
Sir. Excuse me.
Oh God, INN. He's getting the INN exact quote.
Sir,
what's the exact quote?
I would like to direct you to the transcript of Around the Verse for this week. Actually, someone had the exact same comment on the podcast.
That's the only reason you know this.
Yes. Hold on, let me find it. Encourage players, blah blah. Occupations, there it is. Cargo transport is one of the. There it is. Second set of occupations that we're going to add is mining and salvage. We won't have the dedicated ships necessary for these things until sometime next year.
Yep.
So he specified the ships next year, but he didn't say when the systems are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, if we have to wait for the first ones to come online, and we're looking to 2.7 for the first ones
I don't
to
think
fully
so,
be
though.
fleshed out.
I don't think so. Like, I think they're going to put in the hand tools to do it in any ship.
Yeah, I
that
agree.
Has cargo.
It makes sense for that's how CIG just rolls with these things sometimes. What they'll do is they'll have a small addition to the system, like being able to pick up alcohol and cigars to sell for AUEC, like with 2.4. But in the future, I'm sure those alcohol and cigars, you'll actually have to go to a place to sell them, but they'll add some more things, and they'll add like crates that you have to put stuff into, and eventually that'll end up being the cargo,
which is
system.
Cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's what they'll do initially as well. The first rollout will be hand tools going out, mining with the hand tools, salvaging with the hand tools, bringing it back, selling it, just like you would do with the salvage kind of salvage we have now. But
yeah, and then they come out with the ships, and then it's like a whole new world.
Yeah, then it's completely different.
Yeah, but you still need the randomly generated spawn systems, the ways to sell it, everything in the database to set that up, and
which is why I think 2.7.
I don't think 2.7. I think it's after 2.7. I think 2.7 is big enough, is hard enough that it's like you remember 2.0 releasing, and remember how you could get in, and if you got out of Port Olisar, it was a victory, and then you'd crash.
Getting out of Port Olisar was the whole point of 2.0.
Yeah, but it was so difficult too. It was so difficult.
You've got to consider as well, when they push out big patches, they don't want to put too much in it, because it means there's too much that can go wrong and too much work trying to figure out what the hell broke.
Yep.
So I wouldn't expect. We're going to expect a lot in 2.7, but they're all cohesive things. The procedural planets, the larger system, the networking potentially code, but they're all related systems. I want to see too many other arbitrary things turn up in that same patch, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a slow roll on some of those things, which is why I'm leaning to early next year before the hand tools start doing mining and salvage. We should see cargo, piracy, and smuggling and mercenary and all that stuff up and running before next year, but I think it's going to slow roll and kind of step on each other because they were going to want to get interdiction right, suss out all the bugs there before you stack too many other things on it. You're going to want to put them in, shake it out, have a couple of bug patches, shake it out a little bit more, then you can throw in more systems before, you break too much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is requires some of the basic systems like the piping system. We talked about earlier the actual system with like the interaction system. The interaction system is going to be a key part of the piping system because the interaction system allows you to do ship startups manually or automatically. So, which means that you have to have the power plant be able to be on, so that when you leave your ship and come back, you don't have to like restart up your ship every time, or at least it has to be warmed up so that you can have systems that are functioning at least in base mode while it's happening. So you need to have that whole thing in before we can even talk about anything else, and that's not going to be in until at least 2.6, if not 2.7. So a lot of this stuff is so complicated that we're not going to see it until they get the back-end mechanics working. Like Rocket said, there's lots of back-end stuff that has to go to with mining and salvage. Just mining and salvage alone require so many back-end stuff because they're games amongst themselves. They're not just, for part of Star Citizen, you could have an entire game dedicated to that. All right, next question is from Human Evil again. With the indiction of a racetrack under Grimhex, indication, I think? Indication, there we go. Indication of a racetrack under Grimhex. Do you think you'll be able to use weapons during the race? Yeah.
If you have a second person.
Yeah. Well, you also have weapons on the Dragonfly. And I think it's a Dragonfly race. I don't think it's a racetrack with the traditional racing ships. I think it's a Dragonfly racing track.
Ooh, Dragonfly racing. That could be fun. So it's speeders, racing through an asteroid field trying to shoot at each other. Yeah. I want the laser on the front of that to sound just like a Star Wars speeder. Just change it up a little bit so it doesn't get flagged.
Yeah, just enough. Just enough. Next question is from Human Evil again. How many Pokemon have you caught so far?
Unique or total? Because those are very different numbers.
Very different numbers between those.
I have 7.
Unique right now I have to look.
My daughter and I have caught 36 together.
I've got 14 unique ones right now.
Pokedex.
And I've caught more than that.
Pokedex tells me 49.
17. Seen 17 caught of the uniques. If I've seen it, I've caught it.
Same.
Just that good.
49 out of 49.
How about you, Flint?
Oh, we're talking Pokemons?
Yes.
Oh my god, Squirtle. Hang on.
Squirtle showed up in his room.
I've caught 21 of 23 I've seen. But that's because I ran out of Pokeballs and didn't know about the coin spinny thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't get more bloody Pokeballs.
Yeah, that's right. Bring it, do it to bring it up and then so it shows up.
But I got a couple nearby me that I can't go get. One of them looks like a wasp with an umbrella. What the hell's that?
Beedrill?
Oh my god. Phone, why are you making all of my third balls?
Yeah, that's a Beedrill up at the top center. That's Beedrill, it looks like.
And there's a ball thing as well.
That's its stinger.
Yeah.
It has 2 stinger hands.
Okay. So I need to figure out how to go.
Squirtle got away.
Where'd he go?
The best part, he's behind you now, I bet. The best part about the whole thing is
don't run away from me! He's gone.
The best part is that he popped out in the middle of the stream. I just imagine the Squirtle doing this. Just like flipping you guys off as he goes away.
I switched to non-AR and he returned to me.
Yeah, I did do AR. It's
Yes!
It's a lot harder.
It's great out! Alright, he's getting a raspberry. Screw you, Squirtle.
Squirtle. Pop out, pop out, pop out, pop out.
Yes!
Oh my god!
I control your wild Pokemon from here!
Oh man.
All right.
Also, Elizabeth else new today. If you run a Pokemon app and you turn your phone upside down, it puts it onto low power dark screen mode.
In battery, if you have battery saver on, yep.
So if you just like drop your hand, it doesn't take so much.
Oh my
battery.
god. I will catch him. I got a nice. I got a nice.
One.
All right, screw you.
Use
Squirtle,
all-
Great ball time.
No, Squirtle.
Oh, he's going with the great ball.
It's great ball time.
I've only got red balls. Yes. I only have
Great
red
ball's
balls.
blue, isn't it? So Jake over there's getting some blue balls.
Yes, blue and red balls.
How'd you get blue balls?
I
By not catching the Squirtle so many
Yes!
times.
You finally got him.
Finally.
Right now.
All righty, moving
He's
on.
only level 37. Jesus Christ.
So good.
Oh my god.
First time you show it, it's
You're
good.
getting
The next time we're
transferred.
chanting.
You're getting transferred, you douche.
You already have one.
Yes. He's my starter.
So next question is from Athogen.
man.
Thank you, Human Evil, for disrailing that into the most awesome. Every cap stable is always something just like awesome that happens like that. That's why I love this cast. So Athogen asks, "What are you looking for most in Star Citizen, and why is it mining?"
I'm actually kind of looking forward to mining a lot, actually, because it's awesome.
I'm looking forward to learning all about the alien races and not mining, and then capturing all the alien races, including the ones that aren't like spacefaring and sentient, and putting them in my Cutlass Blue, which I call my Pokeball. I've been calling it that before Pokemon.
You
came
have
out.
been calling it before since we were that.
So I was ahead of the curve on that.
The Pokeball.
I'm looking forward to mining because it's going to be the next non-combat oriented feature after cargo. So I think that's going to be fun.
Which
And
one?
it's mining. The question
Mining,
was.
yes.
The question is, what are you looking forward to most in Star Citizen, and why is it mining?
Procedural mining.
Forward
Yeah.
to most surfing jump points in my Karak.
Surfing jump points. Hang 10, bro. Yeah.
Yep. I got to keep it in the Cali mentality.
Next question is from Human Evil again. Hopefully not dislodging us with more Pokemon speak. Do you think the Banu Merchantman will end up being the Banu version of the Super Dreadnought? Now the UK is building it because it's gonna get so bigger. Is that the question?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it'll probably end up being the size of like the 890 or something, maybe possibly even bigger, because it's going to be the basis for all the Banu ships going forward, just like how the Caterpillar was the basis for all Drake, and how the Retaliator was the basis for all the Aegis. The Banu will be the basis for all of the Banu ships going forward in terms of like the whole thing. So it's going to be massive.
I definitely think it's going to be closer to the size of an 890 or a Karak because it's a flying mall.
Yeah, it's a flying bazaar.
Yeah.
They've described it as a flying bazaar. So
That can be modified into any sort of thing. Like it could be modified to a warship or modified to a science ship, or it's very, very high. Like the Banu are very modular depending on whatever their species needs at any given time.
Or, I can turn it into a flying space pub, maybe. Possibly.
Yes.
Hopefully. All right. Next
Every
question.
spaceship needs a wine bar.
Yes. Yes. Next question comes from Tobitej. A lot of talk about Levski. Want to bet Hurston is going to make an entrance soon, too, since they showed a fast forward a month ago?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, both of them seem to be that they're somewhat close to being finished.
We are working on Hurston.
Yeah.
Yep.
Levski's a weird one because it's from a completely different system, right?
Well, it
Yeah,
was.
It was supposed to be in Nyx, and then they decided.
Well,
to put
it will be ultimately.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's because that's a location used in Squadron 42 or not.
I have a feeling that they wanted to flesh out a pirate station. Like, because they got the corporate station that is...
Or a fringe. I don't like that you call it pirate. That's very piratist. Just a fringe station.
It is. It's true. It's
a rim.
It's
station.
a freedom station. It's a freedom station. They're all about freedom.
It's like going to Alaska.
Yeah.
It's
your rules.
Or like going to the middle of the desert.
Right now.
You know, like because it's in an asteroid field around a planet. So it's very much
like Arizona.
Yeah, it's like Arizona. It's like the worst parts of Arizona. So Phoenix.
No
There's
rules or super harsh punishments.
Right. Where's Nyx?
The next question is from this guy named Jake Acapella. I don't know who this is. Does anyone else Benny's? Yes. Yes. In fact, Grokis can sing the tune in his Brock voice.
Bing Benny noodles, so yum, so wow.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Oh yeah, baby, you know you want this, Brock. Don't make me pull out my Brock live on stream.
God.
Yeah, we're not going to Nyx in Squad 42. Just.
We're not going to Nyx. I think they're just looking for the basis of trying to flesh out the concept because Levski was designed to be in last year. They were talking about putting it in there, and that's the reason why it wasn't put in was because they finished it, but then they were like, we got procedural planets working, so they're like, okay.
Well, I'm hoping that they're withholding it, still working on it, but withholding it for the sake that they can use that as a prime location to travel to once they're ready to start letting us test jumping.
I believe
between
there's
That will be the case. They're going to stick in essentially a temporary, random, rocky planetoid to stick Nyx on.
Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
It'll probably end
Or
up being-
Levski on.
They'll probably do is they'll probably have the actual planet modeled for Nyx that Levski's on around because Levski's in that asteroid field around a planet. I think they'll probably stick that in because they'll be designing it anyways, and they're just going to stick it into Crusader system.
No, because Levski is actually an asteroid.
Yeah, it's an asteroid base
Delamar-
inside an asteroid field.
But that's a different ask to procedurally generate an asteroid that big than procedurally generating a planetoid that big. So I think they actually said in ATV yesterday that they're modifying it because it's being put into a planetoid as opposed to an asteroid. They have to make some tweaks to that.
Yep. And modifying it to expand it out to match up with some of the new shopping and things and make that work
and
correctly.
To make sure there's enough landing pads and crap like that. So.
Then Jake
But,
Acapella
they had to rework it.
asks again, is anyone excited for Thrawn?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to do something that's going to get me crucified, but I've seen people talk about this, but I do not know about this. I've heard rumors of what is going on and what this is.
All right.
We're talking Admiral Thrawn, Star Wars, right?
Grand
Yes.
Admiral
Grand
Thrawn
Admiral.
is being rewritten back into Star Wars canon
Good.
by Timothy Zahn.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in season 3 of Rebels. So there is that.
There's hope for Star Wars.
I've heard that he'd been in Star Wars canon for a while as the kind of guy who took over after the fall of the Empire.
He's
Mhm.
yeah,
He is.
and then Disney just pooped all over all of the old books and comics and video games and everything. But now, I think whoever is behind Rebels, especially if you've seen season 2, I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but whoever is writing Rebels knows
They're just trying.
a lot about Star Wars.
Yeah, they're trying to
Yeah.
sneak as much of the extended universe back into canon.
They're
as
putting it
possible.
all back in.
Yeah.
At least the Thrawn stuff, which is the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a ton in season 2 that references Knights of the Old Republic and all of that stuff, and it's so good.
Nice.
Ruben, please, you have to have him.
That would be nice.
So next question comes from Captain Jimmy Dean. He says, "Will Jake be mellow now, Kappa?"
He needs a new desk.
Yeah, it's my computer's now floating. The desk is just.
His hype is so big that it's the computer's floating. That's what's happening.
Yep.
The next question is from Sergeant Jock Itch. With most successful games like Pokemon Go and EVE Online, there are rivalries built in game. With Star Citizen, we have aliens, but they have all AI. They're all AI, and from what we've seen, the Star Citizen and non-citizen.
I think he's just kind of.
Will be rivals.
I think he's just talking about like
have rival mechanic in game.
Well, there'd definitely be rivalries.
Oh
It's
yeah,
called
absolutely.
organizations.
It's organizations.
Well, there's that, but even in the lore, you've got the Fringe versus the Center. You've got Earth versus
Terra.
You've got the Loyalists versus. Well, there's loads of the sympathizers. There's a bunch of different factions
Corporate
in there.
versus independent, that kind of stuff.
There's also the dark undercurrent of the Messer stuff, and where did they disappear to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still around.
Loyalists, because they're still kind of around in the background, but in hiding somewhat. So you never know what's going to play out. Is that playing out in Squadron 42
Bishop.
Bishop, which is the lies shirt? So,
I mean,
I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see which organization will establish themselves as a power in the verse first.
The thing is that I'm almost assured that most of the larger organizations will fall apart before the game actually gets to the point where they
100%.
So
that's why it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how it works, but I have a feeling that I think 90% of the organizations that exist now will not exist.
The ones that will rise will be the ones that are made in game when the game actually starts.
Yeah, because those are the people who know each other, meet each other, and will actually be able to play
and
with
are
each other.
active.
Yeah. That's the problem, is that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but Star Citizen's got 1 million players. It's like, we don't have 1 million players. We have 1 million accounts. And we have maybe 10,000
Didn't they
players.
say
30,000
no,
players?
Didn't they say like not terribly long ago, but about half of the it was when we hit 1 million. They said it's about half of that are people who have a game package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who sign up an account, for an account, but they have there's 1 million.
The 1.4 million is just accounts.
Yeah,
like some people with
multiple
logins.
Accounts.
This includes people who made it for like free fly weeks, things like that.
And I'm sure there are multiple accounts for people who have multiple like stuff. Some people will have like burner accounts for trolling and all that kind of stuff, and the CIG can't catch all of that stuff.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's not a good accurate estimate of how many people are playing. And they did say something like 30,000 or maybe it was 300,000 people had logged in since the beginning of this year, or since 2.0.
Probably 30,000
to help test. So 30,000 sounds about right.
But I think either way, it's quite difficult as an org because we're 10% of the population in the universe, so we don't have any specific control over, like, specific direct control over things in the game. So fighting over those things isn't really going to be a thing. I think it's more going to be aligning with the factions and the establishments put in place by the game more so than anything else. So kind of more like the way they're doing it in Elite. As in they have the parties, you align with the party, and you can do things to advance those parties. But possibly do something like that.
Hopefully, unlike Elite, we'll see actually that matters, and you can't go into certain systems.
I'm talking about the concept of having factions built by the game, set out using game lore, but then that groups of players would then align with, as opposed to I'm now the Kingdom of Flint, and you will bow to me.
The Republic of Dave.
Oh, the Republic of Dave.
I want to join the Kingdom of Flint.
Yeah, Fallout 3.
Can I join the Kingdom of Flint?
All right, next question is from Auntie. He asks, what's everyone's plan for their main occupation / activity? Example, bartender, pirate, bounty hunter, etc. Bartender?
Map maker.
Space Jay Leno.
Xenoarchaeologist, xenobiologist, xenoanthropologist. Yeah. Basically, learn alien physicality, learn their languages, and learn their
Flint,
history.
Flint, you want to be a passenger pilot, right?
I'm gonna be a legitimate businessman. Yaha!
He doesn't know how all this red paint got out on the outside of this box here. No, don't scan it. It's red paint. Trust me.
No, I mean the best way to describe what I want to do is essentially live out my sci-fi fantasies.
Be like a spacer, like an old
A legitimate hauler, retriever of things, all
doing
done.
doing jobs as they come.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them may not be fully legal in the eyes of the UEE, but hey, screw the UEE because they're led by a corrupt megalomaniac. So screw them and their laws.
I don't know why this reminded me of anything, but like I just my brain made all the connections at once. But did you hear that Mark Hamill shouted out Star Citizen during his
oh yeah, I heard
yes,
about
Q&A,
his
that.
thing at
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
the video of it when he talked about it because he was talking about filming out in the UK, and then he said, "Well, I was on this other site. It's Star Citizen. I'm working on it with Chris Roberts." And it was
He didn't say
Damn.
working on it with Chris Roberts. He said, "I'm Star Citizen. It's a game I'm doing called Star Citizen that Chris Roberts and I are doing." Like
That's it.
He put emphasis. And I do want to talk about this. There's emphasis on ownership of the project seems to be very, very common throughout most of the actors. Like the picture of Mark Strong taking a picture of his character. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Like you don't just go, "Oh, check it out. I've got this thing on the screen. I need to take a picture of it right now because it's so cool." Unless you actually are excited about it, not like, "Oh, let me take this." All right, like you don't take that effort, especially when you're in all that gobbledygook that they're in, to pull out your phone to take a picture of something. So I think to a degree, a lot of the pictures we've been seeing coming out of Sandy of the different cast members, showing them kind of in more candid shots, show that they're excited about the project. They like seeing the project. They like to see where it's going. So that makes me more excited.
Well, I think also with Mark Hamill, it has a lot to do with his history with Chris Roberts, having worked on Wing Commanders previously. Because that it's almost a nostalgic thing for him, I would think.
So I think as well with the actors they have involved, at least the big actors they have involved, all of them have a history of playing roles where they're immersed in some more of a kind of fantasy, be it sci-fi or other setting, which is far separated from reality, and being part of this world of the imagination. And with the way they're doing the full motion capture now, the fact that they're doing this acting in the way that they like, being we're in this complete other world essentially, but they're able to see in real time that happening, it's got to get them excited, right?
Yeah. Well, and there was during his Q&A, Mark Hamill was talking about how he kind of almost doesn't like working on Star Wars right now because we live in the age of the internet where people's names aren't even on the scripts he's handed. They're just numbers. And I bet he's
Call
liking
sheets,
working
yep.
on Star Citizen where he kind of knows what's happening.
Well, see, I think that's one of the things about Star Citizen is that we know if you really wanted to look, you can find almost everything but the script itself for Star Citizen out there for Squadron 42. And yet, almost nobody really knows the story or the plot. I mean, the plot, they kind of know some of the outlines. But no one really knows, the deep plot and all that kind of stuff. But we do know that who Mark Hamill is, who John Rhys Davies is, who Gillian Anderson is, who Mark Strong is. All of these people, we know what roles they're playing in the game, but we don't. So I think it's one of those nice moments for fans and for the people creating it, because they don't have to lie or be like, I can't talk about that right now. They just
Yeah.
I just hope they have a premiere party where they bring all the actors and they get the Star Citizen fans to come and nerdgasm all over them.
Oh, I'm hoping they show up for
CitizenCon?
I hope they show up. For
That would be great.
He's still my beating heart.
I have a plan, which I said drunkenly last night. What for if I see some of those actors show up on CitizenCon if they come up. I've got a plan. I'll tell you off stream. I'll tell you off stream.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
I want to know.
I'm going to say, you may not know me, but I'm kind of famous.
On Twitch. I'm big on the internet.
So you're pretty big. But in this context, I'm fucking huge.
I will walk right up to Mark Hamill with this box, and I will say, "Would you like to play this game I created?"
There you go.
He might actually. He's such a nerd.
He
would.
might be really into that.
Yes.
I'd get his daughter and his 2 sons into it too if they're there. If the whole family's there, let's do it.
All right, the next
Yeah.
question.
Crack open the box.
Next question is: can you guys do a 5-man Star Wars Cantina music rendition? No.
The rest aren't joining in.
No, because
I
have no
doing
rhythm.
the bass.
I have no rhythm.
I would, but there's a lot of like little black dots with weird eyes around me right now. And the weird squid
Wait,
thing.
what? You have Ghastlies all over the place? Oh my god, Ghastlies everywhere.
2 of them.
Yeah, it's Ghastly's.
Nice.
Ghastlies.
Oh god, that's coughing near you too as well, it looks like.
Squiddy.
Clefairy and a...
Vulpix.
That's a Vulpix.
That's a Vulpix.
Go find the Vulpix!
What's the whole thing? Which one?
Quick!
Which one?
Special rules. The Bang Stang. There we go.
The
Bang
ball
Stang.
one or the squiddy one?
That's really good quality, by the way, Nighthawk.
The
Yeah.
little ball-looking
Yeah.
one was coughing. With the little
Yep.
pieces coming off him.
Like
I didn't see a squid-looking one on there.
The one on with a circle on it.
That's Vulpix.
Those are its tails. It has
Yeah.
multiple tails.
That's a tail.
It's a fox with like a bunch of tails.
Okay. And he's rare?
No, he's just awesome.
Oh.
It's somewhat rare.
The next question is from the Astropub. Apparently got drunk and
Oh.
the question says, "Why am I
Oh.
so goddamn sexy?" I don't know, Astropub. Why are you so goddamn sexy?
It's those vests you wear.
The vests.
It's his modesty.
It's my
He
modesty.
has the opposite of body dysmorphia.
Man, my options suck.
Yeah, mine's just like a bunch of rattatas. That's it. Next question is from
Weedles.
Jelsia 1973. Question: Jared danced around this question in the last RTV. Do you think they're really going to make Grimhex a safe zone? Parts of it.
Parts of it.
Partially.
Parts of it.
Because the problem is that you can't have a Grimhex be a spawn point and not have it be a safe zone for when you spawn in, because that's camping. It's like if you look any kind of FPS game ever, it is a
Ever.
they have a small window of time when you spawn to when you can die again. Even in arena shooters, they have that so that you don't just get face camped if someone manages to guess where the spawns are. So you spawn in, you maybe have like 3 seconds and then you die. But, still, you have the seconds to actually turn around and shoot somebody if they're right next to you. So you're going to have some sort of protection for people spawning in, because otherwise people will stand outside of the...
Did you name your Jinx Nicki Minaj?
Maybe.
Gosh. But yeah, no. Otherwise, you'll have. I will stand outside of Grimhex, like spawn points. Their version of the space hotel.
I got a
where you
ghastly.
shoot people.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Flint has a ghastly.
Keep going. You'll eventually evolve it to Haunter.
All right. Next question comes from Arvidian. Arvidian asks, if you got a Starfarer, how many of its tanks will be filled with beer and rum versus fuel?
All of them.
Only rum.
All rum.
All rum.
None.
All rum.
None of them are going to be beer or rum. I'm going to be dealing in Everclear.
He's going to be dealing in liquid drugs, liquid space drugs.
Heroin.
Yes, heroin.
Hey,
Yes.
Squirkles.
We use that as medicine now in space when you press H.
Yes, it's
Yep.
space heroin.
Space heroin.
So whenever ships are injured, I'm going to fly up to them and
see that on
inject
the
them.
screen.
What, doing the...
Yeah. I wasn't looking. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's beautiful.
Just talk about space heroin. That's typical.
Make that a
typical,
GIF.
Typical. Captain's table. We're all distracted by Pokemon. Lots of space drugs and random discussions on sort of Star Citizen related.
You know what makes space drugs? Pokemon.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
They just
Just still them down.
They have like you know those things to make orange juice where you take like the half of the orange and you like twist it. They got big
A
ones of
juicer.
those and you just you just twist the Pokemon on there and out comes the drugs.
Coughing works best for it because of the shape.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just cut a coughing in half, put him on.
God.
Voltorb, Electrode.
Yep.
They
Those are good ones. Except they explode.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a dangerous job. You just have to twist them, and then they come apart like this.
That's actually how Pokeballs are made. They're hollowed out Voltorbs and Electrodes.
That's what I thought it was at first too. When I first saw Electrode on in the original games, it's like that's a Pokeball. Nope, that's an Electrode. I
feel like I want to get an Endeavor with a biodome thing, and register it with Niantic as a poker gym,
As a Pokegym,
and just park it next to a black hole.
I'm waiting for,
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Pokemon Go-esque game to happen in Star Citizen. You know they'll do something like that, just because of how
Benny's
popular it
Go.
is.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
Pet system.
Baron tweeted out and said it should be Benny's Go with
Benny's
different
Go?
Yeah,
little-
different types of bennies out there in space that you have to
you
go
have to
catch.
like pull up your mobile glass and be like, oh look, there's another Benny's. You know.
There are how many different flavors of bennies?
Right now there's like 12 or something like that. There's
More than that.
there's tons of
I think
flavors.
it's like 16.
The brochure had
but
20 or something. It's some ridiculous number, and they could just expand the Benny's flavors to 151.
and we're not even thinking about the soda machine yet.
Yeah.
Pips? Who cares about Pips?
All right, next question comes from Greyface LV. Fully realizing that they are working on character models over clothing priorities, do you think we will see a wider variety of EVA suits and armors somewhere in the near future? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll see it in
Super
2.5.
easy. Yeah, we'll get more.
Yeah.
I bet you we'll get more armor.
2.5.
We're gonna get more armor and suits in 2.5 for sure. And there's been lots of armor that they've been talking about and they've been modeling together that's finally out. Because like the models that are actually in the game now, the ones that we have, are old. They're not the models that are in Squadron 42.
Yep.
And what they've done is they've actually, essentially what they've done with these is they have done what we asked them to do, which is put in the old models as armors you can wear in the universe, and then the models that are going to go into the actual Squadron 42, marine armors and flight suits and such, will be only available to, Squadron 42, but you still have the stuff that they've been making, and so it's not kind of wasted assets because a lot of people liked it. Now, what I'd really like is the really old Outlaw models. The like orange and yellow guys with the socks, like the socks that pulled up all the way kind of stuff. I want those guys back.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to when they make that whole system modular, like discussed, and you can take, say,
like
shoulder pads from
shoulder
one
pads.
set and a
Yeah.
helmet from another and knees from the third.
Yeah,
I
That was
want
really nice.
That's
I
something we
want
can see in
oversized-
2.7,
I want
2.6.
oversized Warcraft shoulder pads that are taller than my head.
Like the big ass pauldrons.
Yeah.
but no, they do need to add
Forks
in a personal inventory management
Some do.
system.
They do.
Yeah.
So you can do that because they can't give you individual. Right now, it's really hinky to do individual items with clothing. Like to change your hat, you have to go to a shop, find a hat, and equip on equip and stuff. They need to put in a full personal inventory management. So the things you're carrying, and what you have in all the slots, and be able to kind of drag and drop from there, essentially.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we'll probably more than likely see in 2.5 or 2.6 is more inventory management, because they said that they wanted to try to get selling mechanics into 2.5, when they first started talking about 2.5. So that may be a big thing, because without inventory we can't do anything else. So
It'd be nice to be able to sell those guns that you pick up
yeah, the
out
random
in
guns,
like yellow and stuff.
yeah,
So you just go without any guns attached, grab a bunch, come back and sell them.
yeah.
I virtually do that with the with my game system, the Eco RP. But yeah, we need to have that properly. We need to be able to like grab the weapons, go stow them in our ships, have a container we can drop them into.
Or those containers which are locked, which you can't open right now, that tease you, and they're like, "Oh, look, I can go salvage something from Yella." Nope, it's just a closed container that you can't open.
Or just be able to drag the container back into your ship.
Exactly. Be able to
Or
drag
adding
that back.
functionality to weapons racks on ships that already have them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of stuff, but I think all that stuff will get integrated into the Mobiglass, because I think that's going to be the generic like UI for any of that stuff. So we're not going to see that until we get the new Mobiglass that they showed last week's ATV. Was it last week or the week before?
Last week.
Last week.
Last week,
No,
I think.
it was the not this week, but the previous week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, because
Yeah.
it was the guys over in the UK.
In the UK.
Yeah,
Doing
Zane is
UI
in the
stuff,
UK.
and he
So
has that. So it's like the flat bit, and then the screen, and it's a lot more, a lot less flat.
looking forward to that.
I love my Space Pit Boy.
The next question comes from Cruel Hippo. How detailed do you think procedural planets will be? I fear planets will be a boring place like Elite. Now,
Not boring like Elite.
Elite problem is
Some
its
boring.
perspective. Its perspective is an issue. Like planets in Kerbal Space Program are almost exactly like how planets are in Elite. However, they're a lot more exciting because it's a lot more difficult to explore and a lot more difficult to get to those places. And it takes time and effort to do so. Elites are much smaller, much easier, more accessible, and at the same time, you can't leave your buggy when you're on the planets. You just can't get out of your buggy and walk around, and that changes the perspective of everything. Trees, when you're in a like a rover, are tiny compared to the rover, maybe about the same size.
Well, there aren't even trees in Elite, though.
I know,
No.
but even rocks are the size of a rover, or feel tiny.
You can't get a sense of scale in Elite. That I've always said so.
Yeah, and so when you get out of your rover and you look at this giant fucking boulder next to you, you're gonna go, "There's a giant fucking boulder next to me," and you'll analyze it and look at it and be like, "That's really detailed. That's really cool," and you'll see a boulder field, and as you're traveling through a boulder field, it'll mean more to you traveling through the boulder field than it would be in Elite because it's gonna be problematic for you to traverse, so you don't hit it.
But aside from that, when you're walking through a forest and you find a bubbling stream with little pebbles and things strewn around, and you feel like you're part of a world, the world then feels like a planet.
Yeah.
It feels like you're on a planet. So when you hop into a spaceship and take off, it feels like you're leaving a planet and going into space. With Elite, the feeling I get is that I've just landed on another thing. It doesn't feel like a planet to me.
No, it feels like space. but
There's a
with
disconnect
land.
there. So,
Yeah.
but how detailed? Exceedingly, I would expect.
It's CryEngine.
It's CryEngine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we discussed earlier, with them already working on basic mechanics for the water system and flora, there's going to be something to see. It's not just going to be barren rock.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely
They
not
wanted
that.
to get. They were having that issue, I think, when they talked about it too. Last I remember was trying to get water to go onto a spherical object with its own gravity and hold in one direction instead of on a flat plane inside a CryEngine space, so that water would actually behave like it's on a planet. And that type of tech just hasn't really existed in games yet.
No.
They're just like, oh, we have to invent this new type of physics for a computer engine. Yeah, just to make it work right and draw everything proper.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of invention there. So hearing 2.0, procedural 2.0, that's a good sign.
Yeah, and it's on top of that as well, we're dealing with something that CIG had no idea was already available when they hired essentially half of Crytek, if not like 80% of Crytek. They just kind of went, "Oh, here's all this shit we've been doing in CryEngine, but we couldn't tell you about or talk about because it's all been mostly done." It's like, well, okay, wow, it's pretty easy, I guess. Or you've already done a lot of the legwork for this, so it's,
Yeah.
I think that mattered a lot, and the engine itself is really robust in doing that other stuff. Blame Dovlak. Delvac. I'm just gonna keep calling you Dovlak because that's funny.
Call him Dovahkiin. He
Dovahkiin.
enjoys that. He enjoys that greatly. Also, talk to him about making a podcast about the lore in Star Citizen.
God, that sounds really, really boring. No offense.
It sounds right up his alley. I love that Dolvac has, or I'm sorry, that our resident Dolvac Keen has volunteered to make the lore podcast. So it's confirmed here that a new podcast will be coming out, brought to you by Dolvac, talking all about the lore of Star Citizen.
Oh.
So, Go2's asks, most anticipated ship not out yet. Bannerman.
Hey, time to crash the stream again.
Do it. Let's do it.
The
Rip
Prowler.
Drop the rips. The stream's gonna end, right? That's how it works. If you guys are just showing up, Jake tried to say the name of the ship that he was most anticipated for, like 4 times, and every single time he would say it, the stream would just crash. It would not work at all.
Whoa! you dropped a packet or two there, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, you just.
Do not say the name.
But no. To get back on Paul's topic,
Yes.
I want to see the Prospector and the what was the other one? The Crucible.
Looking forward to soon. Honestly, Dragonfly, because that'll be probably... I have a feeling it's going to be like Dragonfly and Procedural Planets will kind of get thrown together.
Okay.
They might give it to us a little early, but that's just going to be for pure fun. And long-term, I want my Endeavor. Well, I don't have one, but I'm going to be borrowing one. And I want to do science experiments. Like, what happens if I stuff this creature from this planet into this particle accelerator on this side, and then this creature from this planet on this side, and then turn on the accelerator, see what happens.
Oh, dude.
I have a
Speaking of
question.
creatures, I hope they have a dynamic ecology. I don't think they will, but basically where creatures hunt other creatures and live their lives on the planet.
That would be,
And I would take...
Hey, you know what? It makes sense with this the AI.
The subsumption.
Oh, yeah, it would, yeah, but I mean, it's on a planetary scale. Trust me, I've researched this for the game I worked on. It's very, very hard, but it'll be awesome if it was there. Such that I could fly to a planet, I could abscond with a creature from the planet who's like a mid-level predator, and take it onto another planet and see how it rampages against all the various animals on that planet.
I thought you were going completely different place. That I thought Captain Flint was going to have cockfights, space cockfights.
He is, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Predator from Planet X and take the Planet Y and see how it fares. Have
Paul, I got a
survival of the
proposition for
fittest.
you.
You're going to be playing
Creature
Pokemon.
edition.
I got a proposition for you, Paul.
What's that?
The other ship that I'm looking forward to. How would you enjoy hosting an episode of the Captain's Table aboard in Idris at an actual Captain's Table?
That sounds good. We could do that.
It's an Idris. What about a Javelin? Can you offer us
I
a
don't
Javelin?
have one though. I have an Idris.
Everyone has an Idris at this point. We need some more.
Fine. I'll go melt all my ships. I'll buy a Javelin.
Just for this, thank you. Jake,
Just for this.
True friend
Peer
of the
pressure.
podcast. True friend of the
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah.
Next, it's at 5:00 right now, so I kind of want to, wrap it up a little bit. We did have some issues, so going over them not too bad, as long as you're all okay. But I want to kind of do some lightning rounds through this, so let's keep the Pokemans to a minimum. The Auntie asks, amongst you, who is the best space combat and who's the best FPS combat?
Me for both.
Also me. We shall fight.
All of us. We're all the best at all of those things. I'm
going to sit back and let the 4 of them duke it out and then go in and finish off the wounded.
I just have to point out, I beat a Saber one-on-one in a Mustang Alpha.
That's impressive. That is
Oh,
impressive.
damn.
That is
I did it in
impressive.
the Aurora LN.
The Aurora
but
LN is not impressive.
I haven't tried
The
a
Aurora is the
Mustang
best
Alpha
ship in the
yet.
game, so.
It happened live on stream.
I piss people off in my M50.
I hate you.
Well, that's an M50. I mean, just hope you don't get hit.
My
and
space
it
combat
has the
abilities
speed
have.
to avoid fire. The Mustang Alpha is significantly slower.
The my space combat skills have dropped dramatically since 2.0 went out, but my FPS skills have gotten really good. On stream last night, I was just wrecking 5-6 people at a time who come through solo while they're going through the security station. So I've been honing my skills against other streamers as well. So it's been fun to do that.
I refuse to go meta with the space combat stuff, at least.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that it's just like, no, I won't do it, because, 4 physical weapons on a ship that are an insta-win button with CS missiles, which are an insta-win button, it's like, it's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is why... So when people ask me about ships, the starter ships, I say, even though the Mustang, the Auroras have more alpha firepower, because they have 2 size 1 lasers, the basic Auroras, but they have 4 size 2 missiles. Those 4 size 2 missiles can screw someone's day up. But for sustained space combat, it's just not practical. For one, you only have 4. For 2, they cost a hell of a lot to replace. They're the oh shit, get out of jail free card you strap on top of your Aurora when you're going off doing other things.
Expensive. Yeah.
If you want to fight, you're better off having those 4 size 1s on a Mustang Alpha, because then you have sustained firepower and decent higher DPS. So there's a big difference to that. And like you say, it is meta right now because you just respawn and you get all your stuff back. It's
even in the PU, you can still respawn and do it, but the ammo restocking on those physical weapons is way too cheap compared to the, hey, I just killed you with 1 shot, now I'll steal all your stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, missiles are pretty expensive.
Oh, I'm not talking missiles, I'm just talking like...
ballistic rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Broadsword, longsword combo.
That's going to get expensive fast.
Well, I don't think it's
Not when
I don't really think they're going to be able
one
to
shot takes you
out because we'll have to wait until they actually get the damage system working right, because right now the damage system doesn't even work properly. So when the damage system is more towards what it's supposed to be, then we'll see how the ballistic versus laser weapons work. And I like the
item system 2.0.
Yeah, I think it's beyond item system 2.0 because they said that it's not going to be completely in there, but shields are going to work completely different from what they do now.
And
right now,
physicalized damage as well.
Yeah, physicalized damage is what I'm talking about. Yeah, but the shields are sort of going to be coming in with 2.0, where they slow rounds down that come in rather than just reflect, or just absorb damage. They can reflect damage entirely, if possible. So, there's a lot that's going to come down the pipe in the next year, which is going to change the game, how the game plays significantly. And allow the smaller ships to actually kind of compete against the bigger, better ships. Next question is from 6 Foot Turkey. Follow-up from the Grimhex safe zone question. How likely will it be for us to see a safe zone enforced by NPCs? I.e., you can still carry and fire, but NPCs will immediately fire on you.
I mean, technically, you're already seeing that.
Yes.
They're doing that with Olisar.
Yeah, I think it's already going to happen. I don't know if we'll have NPC, cops that'll do that, because I don't think we'll have AIs that'll be in there to do that, but we may. I don't know.
Not yet.
Not yet, but eventually, once they start bringing some
sunshine in. I think he's asking 2.5.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Maybe. No.
I mean, you might have patrol guards there, but not FPS patrol guards.
All right, next question is, I'm going to skip to save to the end, because we only got 2 more questions after that, and then we'll come back to this one. Another one from 6 Foot Turkey. Do you think capital ships should have the option of third-person view, or would this damage the sense of scale?
Please.
Please allow it?
Yes.
Well, it's going to require multiple people to fly it. You're not going to have one person, right now, where you can get in and just kind of fly it in be able to fly it in third person. You're going to have one person who's going to be flying it, maybe one person who's controlling the throttle, the forward back, and then one person controlling the left right.
At the very least, having really accurate sensors, so that way you have spatial awareness around your ship, because ships are small enough now. Even the Starfarer is getting to the point where it's kind of difficult to be aware of the space your ship occupies. But yeah, like just being able to have this spatial awareness around your ship to see what's like in the immediate vicinity. Because if you're trying to navigate like through the rings of a planet or an asteroid field or something like that, you kind of need to be aware of physical objects around you. So either third person or like a screen that has like basically the third person view on it that is your sensor readings.
I could see like a station that deploys drones around your ship, just drones, quote unquote.
Drones. It's the was it the freaking Lakitu from Mario just holding the camera on the cloud.
Basically. Yeah. So if it gets damaged, you lose your third person perspective. So if that station goes down, you lose that point of view and you're like blind. So I really think it should be a system added in to make it not OP.
Yeah. It's probably part of the same kind of systems that we're going to see with the news van variants that are coming out. And things like the Herald and the news van variant for the Reliant. To be able to like have a camera that you can use to see more than just what you're seeing, from a different perspective. And the last question of the day is from Greyface LV. Do you guys think that there will be unique cosmetic items that will carry over into the persistent universe for those who complete benchmark points or missions in Squadron 42?
Sure. They said that they want to do that. Yeah.
Like, if you remember playing the old Wing Commander games, you would earn like bronze stars, purple hearts, service medals. I'm sure you'd have medals of your rank in the insignia that you probably could carry over and put onto, maybe not put onto clothing, but you maybe I'd be able to.
People love skins, man.
Yeah.
It's
but
just
even more than that, they've discussed that they'd like to take it as far as being able to transition some of your NPC relationships into the PU, because some of these characters that you come across in Squadron 42, you're going to be able to meet and interact with in the PU.
Yeah, I'm saying Tessa. I'm saying Tessa. Tessa's probably going to be one of those people. She's already she's
a weird stalker.
She is
watching
a weird
you
stalker. I bet you
right now.
Let that sink in, everybody. Tessa can see what you're doing right now.
Right now.
She's getting a hell of a show then.
No, but like I bet you she's ICC Stellar Surveyor Tessa in Squadron 42 is probably someone you have to talk to at some point, to like get information. Next question. No, that was the last question. So the very last question is from a person named Pokemon Quiz. And it says, "Who's that Pokemon?"
Well, I got the Squirtle in range.
Wait. The answer should be Pikachu. And what's your response?
The response says, "It's Jigglypuff from above."
Whoever that guy is.
It's Jigglypuff from above. No, it should have been Clefairy, and then our response back is, "Fuck!"
I love that video. I remember. Oh God!
Alrighty, well,
I missed a perfect opportunity.
I will wrap it up now. Thank you guys all for hanging out and watching us here at the Astropub with the Captain's Table. I'd like to thank Nighthawk, Jake, Grakis, and Captain Flint for showing up, even though we had all those technical difficulties. And if you guys want to go around the room and tell them who you are and where they can find you, feel free. Let's go ahead and start with Captain Flint.
Ahoy! I am Captain _Flint on Twitch, on Twitter, Captain Flint TV on YouTube, and that's about all you need to care about.
Then we've got Grakis. Who are you? Where can the people find you?
I am Grakes, twitch.tv/Grakes, GRAKEES, as well as Twitter and YouTube, and you'll find me streaming as soon as this ends. I'm going to kick mine off because I've got like 18 more hours to go or something like that. Fuck.
Then Jake, who are you? Where can they find you?
Okay, there's two places. One, I am a senior editor at the INN, so you can go to imperialnews.network. I think there's a command for that in here, right? Yeah, there it is. If you ever read a transcript or if you've ever used closed captioning on any of the videos on Star Citizen stuff, that's what we do. Try to do a little bit more than that. Like I just wrote a review for a little game called Inside. Please go check out that game. My goodness.
It's by the same people who did
It gets very weird at the end.
Limbo.
Yeah.
Nimbo.
It gets very weird at the end.
I watched a playthrough.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Anyway, you can find us on there. We're going to be covering all the events coming up and stuff, so you can check that out. And we have a podcast every Saturday.
So do you have someone going to Gamescom?
Shiver is, I think. Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. But we have a weekly podcast that is right before this one. Twitch.tv/INNlive. And then you can find me, specifically me, everywhere. Jake Acapella, that's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, but there's nothing there. And yeah, that's it. I stream Wednesday through Friday for as long as I am able. Star Citizen, Overwatch, whatever I feel like.
And last but certainly not least, Nighthawk Zale. Who are you? Where are you from?
Nighthawk Zale. It's Nighthawk_Zale. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all exactly the same. I haven't been doing a lot of streaming lately, but when I do, it's split between working on that game back there, Traverse the Verse, and playing Star Citizen. On the weekends, I'll usually go casual and try to stick with sci-fi themes, but yeah, mostly Star Citizen.
And I, of course, am your humble but ever-present space bartender and host here at the Astropub, Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley. You have this every Saturday, 3 o'clock. We'll be doing it until time stops or I am no longer able to touch the fingers or whatever. I'll be doing this for a while. And if you guys
What he doesn't know is that at CitizenCon I'm going to cut off his hands.
Yes, he's going to cut off my hands. God damn it. But I normally stream twice during the summer. Once my happy hour streams are from 2:30 p.m. till late. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And then I also stream 10 p.m. Pacific / 1 a.m. Eastern. That's 1 a.m. Eastern, I should say. For my normal streams, usually streaming Star Citizen for that, and the ones I do earlier, they're kind of random streams, sci-fi, space-related games. So, thank you guys again for hanging out. Love you all. Thank you for everyone who showed up, including the cast members. And like I say every night, I hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, I hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good night, guys.
Night, everyone.
Farewell.